Hey pilots, this is Craig Young with Paraglider Service USA, and today we're going to go over field line replacement. So you have a damaged paraglider line, you're out flying, and you want to get this line replaced so you can fly again within the hour. And so you want to have some things in your harness and a little kit to help with that. And first thing you need is a pair of scissors that can cut Dyneema and aramid without getting dull. So you need to buy a very expensive pair of scissors, and then on a mini size like this, so it'll fit in your kit. You know, the one I have in the shop is this big monster, but you definitely don't want to keep that in your kit. It's too big. But get one like this. You want a Sharpie marker and a couple guitar strings, you know, like a 20 gauge and a 22 gauge will suffice, and a couple lengths of line. So you're going to want the largest kilogram rating of your main lines, 10 meters of that. So let's say it's 230 kilograms. So this is an example here of 230 kilograms, and you want 10 meters of that, and then the largest kilogram rating for your midline, which can be utilized also for your upper line. And let's say maybe it could be like 130 kilograms. But just figure that out for your specific glider, and have 5 meters of the midline and 10 meters of the lower line on hand, and make a loop at one end on both of them. And I'll show you how to do the loops here in a minute. And then you'll be ready for any little emergency here. So let's go through that real quickly here. What we're going to do here is, because we don't have the means to sew in the field, we're going to use a brummel lock splice. And a lot of you are already familiar how to do that, so you can just forgo this. But for those of you who are not, go ahead and pay attention here, and we'll show you how to go about that. You know, I uploaded a video a couple days ago on doing just this, and I only did half the brummel lock. I didn't do it twice. And so it would eventually slipped if I hadn't, hand sewed it here. And so I had to delete that download. But anyhow, let me do it right this time, before you're all out there. I'm prone to mistakes like anybody else, sometimes more so. But anyhow, we got a loop at one end, and we'll show you how to do that when we're making the one at the other end. But I just want to have this one already ready so that I can show you what we need to be doing here. So what you're going to do is you're going to hook this into the mullion or soft shackle that's at where the damaged line is, and so you can run this out the length of it adjacent to it and pull it taut, about 11 pounds of tension. Secure the riser in, have somebody hold it taut, secure, and then pull this taut next to the damaged line. And if the damaged line is broken, then obviously you're going to use the opposite line, the corresponding opposite line, and do just what I'm telling you here. So you got this in the link, and you're pulling it taut, and then you come up to the end of the line. Let's say this is the example of the end of the line, and then as you got this taut, both of them taut, you're going to actually go make a mark past it. So probably about 15 millimeters past it for your larger lower line, and as a rule of thumb, because it's going to shrink up when you splice this thing. So let's say this is let's just do just that. Let's make a mark. Let's say this is the point where they line up, and then we're going to go 15 millimeters past that. So you're going to need a cloth tape, of course, a short section of it. So let's say this is the mark. So we're going to go 10, 15. So we're going to make a mark there past where these line up. Okay. And then this is the mark that I want to go all the way around, okay? All the way around, because the subsequent marks are going to be just halfway. Okay, this is going to be the apex of your loop that we're going to make, okay? And so how big do we want this loop? I want the finished product to be about 30 millimeters, so and because of the bend here, we're going to probably go 35 on each side. So let's mark it 35 millimeters on either side of this loop, or mark. Yay. I'm just marking half of it, and then 35 millimeters on the other side of that mark. I'm just marking half the line, so it's only half the lines marked, so that we can keep track of this one that's all the way around. Okay. And now what we're going to do is the part that's, we're going to go ahead and splice this loop with the brummel lock splice. And so first thing we're going to do is we got to get this tail. This is all excess here. We're going to, the part that we're going to bury in the line is going to be 50 times the diameter of this. And this is 230 kilogram line. It's 1.5 millimeters in diameter. 50 times that is 75 millimeters. So 75 millimeters is minimum. I'm just going to go a little longer. I'm going to go 100 millimeters right there. Oops, I lost my pin. And then we're going to cut that at a good 45. Like so. Get rid of the excess line. Okay, this is what we're going to use to make our loop. It's going to be like this. Okay, and this is the tail that's going to be buried inside. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and make our brummel lock. And so what we're going to do is going to take the end that's here, and we're cording it up. Get one of our guitar strings, 22 millimeter or 20 gauge, and we're going to pull the tail through that. So open this up a little wider, stick the tail through. This end's 45, bend it back, and then pull it through. Pull either side until this thing works its way through. And, you know, when I put this wire, guitar string through the center of this line, you want to make sure you have the same amount of fibers on either side of it. I forgot to mention that. That's what you want to do every time. Now we're going to pull this thing around and find the apex again. Where's my half mark? Look, I lost it here. That's my apex. I should have a mark on both sides, but there it is. It's just really minute. Okay, so that's that mark. I want to pull it all the way through so the mark is visible, but you can't see, neither can I. It's here somewhere. I lost it again. There it is. Okay. And now we're going to cording that up and put the opposite end of this through it to make our double loop. So this one's going through the center of that one, and then this one's going to go through the center of this one, so that we're doing the opposite scenario here. So we're going to cording this up again like we did the other one. Stick the line through it, wire through it, through the center. Again, making sure we get the same amount of fibers on either side of it. And then I'm not going to take the time to do that right now because I want to show you this, but that's what you would be doing. And then we're going to take the other end. The other end has a loop already. So we're going to pull all this through that. And easiest way to do that is probably go past it and get the thinner part here and get that through it, then the rest will come through it easier. Okay. You don't want to pull this inside out, so make sure you keep that from going all the way. So we're going to pull this through this, like so, follow me. And then we're going to just pull it all through. So we're going to pull up, let's get the thicker part through first. Let's get it all through. There we get that through. There we go. Get rid of our guitar string. There we go. Now I'm going to pull the remainder of it through. Where was I? Pull the rest of it through. So we have our brummel lock. Okay. And then we want to see how this is twisted up. We want to make sure they line up. You'll see how they kind of... And then we're going to bring this together. So this one that mark that goes all the way around is the apex of the loop, so we got to get that back up to the apex. And then these are the two marks that were 35 millimeters from the apex, and we're going to bring those together, slam those together by pulling the right two. There we go. Okay, so we got those together, pull those tight. Those are locked in there. And now we're going to go ahead and splice this inside of here. So that's locked. This is not going to release. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the length of this, go beyond it, and we're going to stick our guitar string up starting back here so that when we end up pulling that through, it'll bury itself inside the line. So let's get this thing going. Inside the core. Cording up, get it inside, pop through the other side, back it up. Keep going through the other side. There we go. And now, bring it all the way down, bring it all the way down. Now I'm going to get as closest to this union as we can. So when it splices inside, it's almost invisible. So we're going to get right as closest to that as we can. And before we poke out, I poked out a little bit too soon. Let's go back in, get it up, butt that thing right up to there, and then we're going to come out. And then get it out far enough so we can get the tail in it. Of course, it's not going to make me do this looking pretty. There we go. Okay, bend it back and pull it through. Roll it. There we go. Sucks it up inside. Pull it out through. Don't lose this thing quite yet. Pull this tight. Grab the apex. Pull it tight. Okay, and now when we milk this down, that's going to disappear inside of the line. And there she be. That's a brummel lock splice. This thing will not let go. You don't need to sew it. And so that's how you do it. Got any questions? Feel free to contact me. You can do that through our order form on our website, paragliderserviceusa.com. Talk to you all later.